This Palmer Chucho relationship is one of the best working relationships I've ever had. Good times all the
I
time.
got 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't one bad moment.
Thanks, guys.
No, there hasn't been. Aw, should we hug?
No fist bump? We start our day in Smithers, head to Silverking Hangar, and then fly over to Comess, and that'll be our home for the week.
While you're doing that, I might grab
I love the feeling, reconnecting with the land. It also helps build with character, I find, in my opinion. I like coming out and you go through some hard time. It just builds it up for you. And with winter especially, you come across a lot of different type of obstacles and challenges. But all in all, I just like being out in the land and knowing that I can do this really definitely gives me that value, I guess.
Yeah, gives you a good boost. I agree with you on that one. Like, when you go home at the end of the day, you feel like you've really accomplished something. You feel like I beat that, and we did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the challenges we go through in the snow, whatever it is, it's like at the end of the day, it's just that much more rewarding.
It is, because it is more challenging for sure. I also like that it's just so quiet here. Like, it's just
Hearing the birds chirping.
there's no noise. You're in the middle of nowhere, literally.
I'm Stefan Friesen. I'm from the Sekadena Nation. I'm an environmental scientist who's been working with Chucho since the start.
Working with water in the winter is like you put a tiny little hole into the creek and you can't see the rest of the creek. So you have no idea what's above it. You have no idea what's blocking your sensors. Just the chipping of the ice sometimes when you're chipping like 2.5 feet of ice just to get a hole in, it's intense. It's just, but at the end of the day, and it's really frustrating at the time, but at the end of the day, you're like, we did it, and we did it well. My name is Shayna Charlesdell. I'm an environmental biologist, and I work for Palmer Environmental. Every site you get to is like, there's two parts to it. It's the digging out and then the actual measurements. And once the digging out is done, the measurements are easy.
Sarah is by far one of the best pilots we've flown with. She loves to just get right in there and help us out. And she also asks questions too. as if she, like she has an interest in what we're doing. So using my hands in the cold, it starts off like it burns a bit, but then like, I just want to get the job done. I want to get through it, and with gloves on, it's harder to hold the equipment or whatever, and then my hands are just much easier. And usually by that time, I'm already sweating or something because I would have been shoveling or ice picking, and I just naturally always just had really warm hands.
So when we're picking a site for the conductivity sensors to go, we have to pick an appropriate site. So it's a lot of digging, snow and ice, and making sure that we've got 2 spots that are representative of the flow, and they have to be as far apart on the stream as we possibly can get them.
Consistency is really important because it impacts the quality of the data.
Once we've got our sites up, we turn the sensors on and we measure out some salt. We go up to the injection site, make a brine out of the salt and the water, and we dump it in. And then we wait to see what the conductivity sensors are picking up. The sensors, they read the conductivity of the salt when it comes down the creek. Oh yeah, here she goes. The conductivity will spike, and then it'll come back down to baseline, and that spike is proportional to the flow of the creek.
This morning we stopped at our first met station at high elevation to do a download, and just like kind of like a maintenance to make sure everything was still intact. So then we went down to our lower met station and had to do a little bit of met station surgery with the data logger, and swapped out the precipitation gauge fluid. Don't want that to overflow. Then we buttoned up the station and everything's running fine. So when you're working in -17 weather, it is very helpful to be working with a good crew. They, especially with this crew I've been working with, we don't ever pick out the bad in the day or be pessimists. It's always laughs, jokes, and optimistic as possible. But this is definitely a good crew.
A good crew is people you can laugh with, people that still find the humor in the difficult situations, people that remind you that it's not the end of the world. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. We've gotten to know each other really well, and I think you do in situations like this. Like you get to know people's weaknesses and their strengths, and then you get team members that like help you out with your weaknesses, and vice versa, right? Like it's a real team feeling.
All in all, when you gotta be away from home, this is the place where I like to go, and these are the people I like to work with.
Stab me foot.
I'm trying not to. They are felt, so it kind of felt like I was there. Get it? I felt like I was there for a second.
There.